are back again finally. It's been a little while for another Getting to Know You series. And today we have our fantastic Blue on Blue, that's the company, audio engineer, Marc Webster, here in Rochester. And we're going to learn a little bit more about him and the beautiful studio that is literally set up right behind him.
Hi, everybody.
To kick us off, just tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today with music.
Oh, wow. I've always loved music. I remember when I was a little kid, my mom was a piano teacher and she was in a quartet or something like that. And as soon as I was old enough to sit on the bench, I would sit on the piano bench alongside her and I would help her practice, which I'm sure she appreciated. Right out of college, I played in all kinds of rock bands, blues bands, gospel bands, jazz bands, basically any kind of band I could get into. I just loved all kinds of music. And then a little after that, I got into recording. And of course, again, it was like every kinds of people come to record. So I had rappers coming in, I had R&B singers, I had folk singers, I had banjo players. Right now, I'm working with you guys. I love the music that you guys are playing. I love the composers you're coming up with. So working with you is just a thrill.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that shout out for sure. So, you built your studio in the back of your home, and as a daughter of architects, I'm always fascinated by building of spaces. So, could you tell me a little bit about that process, who was involved, and how the whole
Sure.
design was put together?
Yes, it was my backyard. And at one point I decided I had been recording in spare bedrooms basically for years. And at some point I decided, if I really want to kind of go to the next level, I need something more than just a spare bedroom. Like I can't put a band in a spare bedroom. So I ended up working with an acoustics designer, studio designer, Fran Manzella in New York City. That's all he does is he builds studios. I saw some beautiful studios by him on Mix Magazine, on the covers of Mix Magazine. I'm like, oh my God, these are gorgeous. Whoever he is, whoever this person is, I want to work with them. And so anyway, called him up. He was happy to work with me, even though I was a much smaller project. And I learned a ton of things. The walls are literally about 1.5 feet thick. It's because it's really, you build a whole room and it's all double insulated and everything. And then you start all over again and you build a whole nother room inside the room. And it's floating on these little hockey puck like things. So the whole room is like you got this 2-inch air gap all around it. And then there's another room. So you put all that together. What's awesome is you can have a rock band in here at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't hear it outside. You can have trucks rolling by outside and you can't hear it inside. Yeah.
Why Blue on Blue?
That's from a really long time ago. But I think the reason was one of the most influential albums to me was Miles Davis' Blue on Blue from '59, I think. It was one of the very first jazz albums that I ever got. I basically asked a bunch of people, said, hey, I want to start learning about jazz. Tell me some albums I should buy. And of course, every single person said, the first album you have to get is Blue on Blue by Miles Davis. That's like the Bible.
Depending on the artist or the group, you've been challenged in your studio to do a variety of crazy fun things. So much so that you have, a styrofoam head with a purple wig on for
Oh, yes.
right? And I know that Rosie and I, even though it was for Hats and Heels, did this puppet, shadow dancing thing.
Oh, that was I love that session. That was
Really?
fantastic.
So what are some of the audio engineering and videography things that challenge you to go beyond maybe your comfort zone?
But I'm always really getting driven by, okay, and there's a new problem to solve, or an artist says, hey, I really want to do such and such. Could you make it look like whatever, right? As much as I can, every video is like trying to explore something new that I'm wondering if it can be done. I'm working on one right now with flutist Laura Lenz from the ensemble 5x5. And it's all about, it's a piece by Jacob TV that was inspired by the contrails after 9/11 because all the skies cleared because the airplanes couldn't fly anymore for a period. And so it's about cleansing and cleaning. And so we wanted to make this video about rain. Okay, well, how do you make rain? And at first I was trying outside, with a hose, making the rain happen. And that really didn't go over well with the artist. Laura said, I don't know if I really want to get wet in the middle of winter, which is understandable.
It's Rochester.
So anyway, the challenge was, how do you make it rain inside the studio? And I must have tried a dozen different things. Ultimately, what I came with is I took a bunch of threads and hung them in kind of a semicircle behind her, like literally 1,000 up and down threads. And then I took a couple projectors and I projected waterfalls onto these threads. And when you project waterfalls from video projectors onto these threads, it looks like it's raining. It feels cleaning and cleansing, and it fits the mood of the video about being, cleaning.
So I know that you have a full-time job, then you also do this and other things and gigs. Do you have any time for hobbies or things that you do for yourself? If so, what are they?
Oh yeah, I love the outdoors. So something completely unrelated.
Yep.
I love the outdoors. I love the mountains. I love the water. I love backpacking. I love kayaking. I love canoeing, um, trail running, cross country skiing. I mean, anything that any excuse, if there's whatever the season is. If it's winter, let's go ski, right? If it's summertime, let's go kayak. If it's kind of in between, well, maybe we can go for a run and we'll get our feet muddy, but that's okay. It's whatever the season is. I just love getting out in nature.
To wrap this up, give me one thing outdoors that you highly recommend. Like, if anyone who's interested in the outdoor world, you have to go and try this.
I think I would try something on the water. I would try like a kayaking or canoeing, and the reason is on the water in particular. Um, it's really very much if you to really do it effectively, it's almost like you want to make it a dance between you and the water. If you're especially if you have like a little river or something, there's ways it can be very hard to get across the river and you're just fighting against it. However, there's things you can start to learn about how rivers work, like how to use the waves and things that suddenly will make it really, really easy. And so there's a connection there between learning how to dance with nature and learning how to dance with your musical partners, whether you're in a classical ensemble or a jazz ensemble or whatever kind of ensemble. You're really the most effectively when you're dancing together. And so you can learn a lot about how to play in an ensemble from paddling on a river.
That's a beautiful way to end. And I have nothing more to say other than thank you very much for joining us and telling us a little bit about your story and how you got Blue on Blue, etc. And I'm looking forward to continue working with you in our upcoming projects.
Oh, fantastic. And thank you for all the projects that we've gotten to do together. I have absolutely loved working with you. You're some of my favorite musicians ever. So thank you so much.
Thank you.